You see, that's something we don't talk about a whole lot at Christmas time. But although Jesus' coming, that very first Christmas, was a blessing for sure, it was also a judgment. In Luke chapter 12, verse 49, Jesus says, he says in his own words, he says, he came to set the world on fire. We sing joy to the world at Christmas. But for those who don't receive him, his coming is a declaration that God will judge the world. Just like Noah's ark was the only way to escape the flood, only Jesus can save us from God's judgment. And so this was John's role. Like Enoch, he was to be the voice in the wilderness calling people to repent, turn back to God. He's like Moses returning to Egypt to gather the Israelites. He's like Elijah calling the people on the Mount Carmel to turn back to God. He's like Isaiah calling the people to repent. He's like Jeremiah. He was commissioned in the womb to be set apart for this purpose. Every one of these prophets that I mentioned and all of the other Old Testament prophets, they were all pointing to Jesus. And John is the last. And Jesus is now the only refuge from the coming judgment. For those who trust him, he is a flood of mercy, washing away sin. For those who refuse, he is the reality of judgment that is looming.